going to speak in English because there is no way out. I can't speak in Hindi to you, and I don't know German or Swiss language, so I speak in English. Let me start with a chant for all, and then we begin. One chant which is used before all satsangs. I will explain satsang. Do you have any particular subject today? No.
The title given was the essence of the Veda, after Upanishad.
Okay, great. We'll get down there. So I keep forgetting the title of the talk. So it doesn't matter. So this is what I'm going to chant. Is usually chanted when there is a class, or like a classroom or a satsang, when two people sit down together and trying to find something or to meditate or to pray. This is first chanted. It's in Sanskrit. You don't have to remember it, but somebody may know it. The funny thing is, in India, many people chant it, but they don't know what they're saying. It's like some people go to church and chant in Latin, but you don't know what you're saying in the same way. I'm sure some people in India also know what it means. So the chant is, it's a beautiful little chant. It says, Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. This is the chant. So when I explain this, it's part of the Upanishad actually, how it goes. First it means Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Kara. You notice that there is one word that keeps occurring in all three lines, and that is Saha. Sahana, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam. Saha keeps appearing. Now Saha means two people. It's two. You can't say Saha for one person. When you say Saha, it means you and me. I can also say I and you, but I prefer to say you and me. Saha is you and me. So the teaching of the Upanishad, we'll come to that slowly, is a dialogue between the Rishi and those who are listening. You're not only supposed to listen, you're also supposed to interact. That is called a satsang. One by one, not two. So what is Sahana Bhavatu? First sentence. Sahana Bhavatu means, may both of us, you and I, be protected. We are sitting down here. Well, in Switzerland, I think in Zurich, we are quite physically protected. In some places, when we sit down, we are not fully protected. So it asks first for protection, not only for the teacher, but also for the student, one who is listening. Not only the speaker, but also the listener. So protection, physical, okay. Then there's another kind of protection, which is being protected from distractions from the outside world and inside world. We can shut off all the sound outside, all the sound, and still there is the mind making a lot of sound inside. We know that. So it also asks for protection against disturbance and distraction outside and inside, both. Then the next sentence is Sahana Bhunaktu, which means may you and I be nourished. Nourished. Physical nourishment is necessary. If you don't have food for 10 days and fast, you cannot even think. And for Upanishad, study of the Upanishad require a mind that thinks, tries to understand clearly. So it means physical nutrition plus mental nutrition. There are many kinds of thoughts, many things in this world. Some are good for us, some are not good for us. So we say, nourish, give us that which is good for us. nourish our mind. So physical nourishment, intellectual nourishment, mind, emotional nourishment, all three are required. Not only for me, but also for you, both of us. So it's a very intimate sloka actually. Then, Saha Viryam Karavavahai, may the vitality, the vigor, virya is the Sanskrit word for vigor. You see the root, virya, vigor, just like Agni becomes Igne, fire. So Viryam, may our virility or may our energy increase in you and in me. All this is required to understand the Upanishad. When you are run down and you have no more petrol, the car is no good to go into the Upanishads. We need it when we are full of energy. Start at that point. So, may our energies increase. Tejasvinavadi tamastu. May the spiritual energy in us, the spiritual illumination in you and me increase. Prayer. We don't know to whom, but this is the prayer. And last, very important, ma vidvishavahai, let's not fight with each other. Here we need to distinguish between a dialogue and an argument. An argument is a fight. Vidvisha. You say something and you say I'm right. I say something and I say I'm right. Clash. This is an argument. I'm not trying to understand anything. I'm trying to say I'm right and you're saying you're right. There's a clash. So the last sloka says, avoid that. Let's have a dialogue. In Sanskrit, a dialogue is called a samvada. Samvad means two people sitting together trying to look at something. This is the Upanishadic way of looking at the truth, or trying to find the truth. We don't know at the moment, but so this togetherness is important in exploring what we are looking at today, the subject. If you look at the Upanishads, usually there is a rishi and there are students sitting and they're talking to each other and trying to figure out, so what is a satsang? A satsang is sat, the word sat, and sangha, two words put together. Now sat actually means the truth. I could use another word for truth, the reality. Now you would say, now this is a reality, so which are the reality? Right? We are saying, even though we think this is the reality, this may not be the reality. May not. At least put in that much, suspend the judgment and say, perhaps not. Who knows? So sat means truth, which means truth can only be a real thing. It can't be unreal. So reality. So it means from this that what we think is the reality may not be the reality. Maybe there is something else. Who knows? Well, the rishi said yes, but we don't know. So we're looking at it. So this reality is the sat. Now, can I go in a little bit deep into this? When I see an object in this world, I see it first with my eyes, right? Well, I have five senses: the eyes, the ears to hear, the nose to smell, the tongue to taste, and my skin to touch. These are my five instruments of perception. Do I have any other? Normally not. I have only these five instruments of perception, and using this I see the world. Okay, let me take the eye now first, one example. Every morning I see the sunrise, and every evening I see the sunset. right? You see. But a high school student will tell you that the sun neither rises nor sets, it's the earth that moves. Now, which is the reality? My eyes say that the sun is rising and setting. But in reality, the sun is neither rising nor setting, it's the earth that is moving. So can I trust my eyes and say this is the reality? Now, there are many optical illusions, many you'll learn in school, college. You think it is real, but it is not. Okay, one. Second point. One thing, while we are in it, it is real, but it's not absolutely real. This is what I'm trying to say. Okay, now I am looking at you or you, and I see you in a certain form, certain design, a form. Why do I see you in this particular form? Right now I see you with glasses and a nicely trimmed, beautiful beard, okay. But how do I see it? I see it because there are a pair of lenses in my eyes, right? And we are born with a pair of convex lenses in the eye. And therefore we see this shape. What if we are born with some other kind of lens in the eye? Would I see you in this form or some other form? The common house fly has a compound eye. It has many eyes put together. So it may be seeing you or me in a different form. It believes that is the right form because it sees. And I believe this is the right form because I see through this instrument which is the real form. So there must be something, of course, but is that something what I think it is, or could it be wrong? This is the meaning of saying reality as against that which is not real, because all the impressions that we gather are only temporarily, relatively real. They are not permanently real. They are not absolutely real. They differ from person to person. If I like you, then you're a good thing I see. If I don't like you, the same person becomes bad. So it depends on the observer also to a great deal. You know, the famous poet Alexander Pope, he said the difference is as great between the optic seeing as the object seen. It's not absolute, it's relative to the optics that are used, the observation. This is the teaching of the Upanishads. I'm not using the Sanskrit words, but I'm just trying to. So, when they say Sat, the reality, they mean that which is real in the sense that it is the absolute reality and not what we think it is. The difference is something is there, but it may not be what we think it is. That's the difference. Also, permanency. If something real has to be permanent. How permanent am I, for instance? After 10 years or 15 years, am I there? No. Gone. Already I am 70 years old now. So another 20 years maybe. Maybe. If I am healthy. After that, I am not there. So where did M go? So how real is M? So, Sat or reality also means that which is permanent, as opposed to things which are impermanent, and everything that you see is impermanent. The body is impermanent, it is always changing. In fact, the only changeless thing on earth is change. It's always there. It's always changing. I'm not painting a bleak picture of life. These are facts. Okay, I'm a happy man, but these are facts. So everything changes, nothing is real, nothing is permanent. So the question the Rishi is asking, is there something permanent behind all this? And is it far away or is it close to you? This is the question, basic question. So, to search for the reality, how do we do that? Now the word Sangha in Satsang, Sangha means a group of people like this, sitting together, trying to find the truth. A Sangha means a group, like-minded group. A group which wants to find something, sitting together, is a Sangha. So it becomes Satsang. So this is a Satsang. So we are like good friends, sitting on a bench in the garden, not trying to prove each other right or wrong, but trying to figure out something, find out something. This is a Satsang. Now, with this in mind, we are going to go slowly into the teachings of the Upanishad, because the teachings of the Upanishad are usually dialogues between two, sometimes 3, 4, but usually two. So what I am going to do is to tell you a small story from the Upanishad. The Upanishads are beautiful. Let me explain the Upanishad first. I hope we have some time. So today we have to. Otherwise it's futile, you keep running without.
When do we do the mantra? The mantra?
Do we have a mantra?
You wanted to sing the mantra first.
This is the mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti. This is what I explained.
I thought you wanted
I was talking prose without using the proper tune. If you sing it properly, the mantra is Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In Sanskrit, every word has been given a certain sound to chant. You simply can't. It goes, it goes, it goes. It puts the mind in a certain rhythm. I would say a certain hypnotic rhythm, so that the mind is not somebody doing, but yourself, self, so that the mind comes to a certain, not distracted. So, mantra is over. So let me explain the Upanishad, few words, then we go into the body of the, to the heart of the Upanishad. Upanishad. In India, the most ancient textbooks we have on matters of philosophy, mysticism and religion, all three, are the Vedas, the 4 Vedas. So when you say, if you say in India scriptures, it has a different meaning. Yesterday I was having a discussion with Mr. Subhash. He said scripture. I said which scripture? Because in India there are so many. Otherwise when you say scripture, you mean only one book, generally one book or maybe 2 and one prophet or one teacher. But when you say scripture, it has a completely different meaning. From the Vedas down to the Puranas, they are all scriptures. So which scripture? And they are all different approaches to the reality. So the Vedas are 4, you don't have to remember, I'm just explaining theoretically. They're the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda, 4 Vedas. Now, it's usually sung like hymns, but they have profound meanings in what is being said. And the last part of the Vedas, the portion which you sing is called the Samhita. The last part of the Vedas, which explain the depths and the core of the teachings, are called the Upanishads. So each Veda of the 4 Vedas has a number of Upanishads attached to it. And therefore Upanishad is called Vedanta, because in Sanskrit the word Anta means the end. And it means the end of the Vedas. Not the end of the Vedas, but the last portion of the Vedas. Therefore it's called Vedanta. So Upanishads is Vedanta because it occurs at the last part of the Vedas. Right? Now, What is the meaning of the word Upanishad? Upanishad, it has 3 syllables, Upa, Ni and Shad. Upa means close. Close meaning not close but close. Near, to move closer, nearer. Upa. Nearer to what? Nearer to the teacher, to understand what is being said, the minds, not physically, and near to the understanding of the truth, the Sat. This is Upa. And Ni, we'll leave the Ni for the time being. Let's come to the last one, Shad. What does Shad mean? Shad means, literally it means sit down, sit, Shad. We're all sitting here because you're wanting to listen to something. So when you stand up, I know that you want to go. So sitting down is a sign of attention. You're sitting, so Shad. The other meaning of the word Sad is the mind also has to sit down. Because we live in a world which the mind is always distracted. So we need to find a way to settle it down. This settling down is also Shad. I'm sure you have heard of a great teacher called Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya in India, who wrote the commentaries on the Vedas and the Upanishads and so on. He said there's one more meaning for Shad, which means to shake up. Shake up. Because we live in a world where we stick to certain theories which we don't want to shake off. To understand the truth, you need to shake these theories out. You might have to turn it upside down sometimes. We can't follow the same procedure. You need to break it sometimes. This breaking, this is also called Shad, shaking up. Okay, so what is the Ni, Upanishad? The middle there is a Ni. The Ni indicates, Ni means to sit, the position which is down. Ni indicates the position of the teacher and the student, not physical, I can also sit here, but sitting with the understanding that I don't know, so let me understand. Which is like having an empty vessel. You know, if you don't have an empty vessel, you cannot pour anything into it. If you pour, it will come out. So Ni indicates the position of the receiving vessel, where it understands through knowledge, the humility, that perhaps I don't know. I need to know. Because if I say I know, then there is nothing else to be known. It's finished. Suppose I sit and you're talking to me, and I say in my mind, oh, this I know, Sadguru, this guy, that guy has all talked about it, so what is there? I miss the point because I don't hear. Why? I'm thinking of that. So in an Upanishadic dialogue, you need to actually listen rather than crowd your mind with all things that we know already, so that you can receive properly. This is the meaning of Ni. I'm going to tell you a small story. Upanishad also has many stories, but this is not from the Upanishad. It's a Zen story. So, there was a professor who had studied all the teachings of Zen, everything. Studied, not understood, studied. There's a difference between studying and understanding, right? So, he went to see a great Zen master. And then he said, "Sir, please, can you give me Zen, the experience of Zen, which in the Zen language is called a Satori. Can you give me Satori, illumination?" So the master said to him, "Okay, you sit down, let me make some tea for you." So he went and he made some tea for him and brought it, put it on a small table. You know, the Japanese, whatever they do with great ceremony. See? So he put the table, he put the cloth, he brought the kettle and the cup, and he poured the tea in. He kept on pouring, the cup became full, and the tea started dripping down from the tablecloth. Then the professor said, "Sir, the cup is overflowing." And the master said, "Your cup is overflowing. How can I give you Zen? Already there is stuff here. So how can you pour something inside? Because there is no space. Space is very important to understand the Upanishad, not my Upanishad. I am not important in this. For me, the understanding is more important than anything else. So, if you need to understand Upanishad, one has to start like something new that you are looking at. And so, this is the meaning of the word Upanishad. Okay. Now, some example from the Upanishad to show how it looks at this truth. There are many Upanishads, but there are 11 principal Upanishads. Before I go there, I want to tell you a little bit in 1 minute about how the Upanishad became known to the Western world, like Greek world. Nobody knew outside India about the presence of this wonderful knowledge. There was an unfortunate prince of India who did not become an emperor because he was killed by his brother, whose name was Darashiko. Darashiko was the brother of the last powerful Mughal emperor called Aurangzeb, who was a fanatic who killed so many people. Darashiko was his elder brother who was supposed to become the king, but he was also murdered. He was murdered because Aurangzeb, the king, said that he has converted. He is no more a Muslim, so let's finish him off. So anyway, so Darashiko had a teacher from Iraq or Iran or somewhere, and he also had Indian teachers, the yogis. So if you go to Kashmir, nowadays it's difficult to go to Kashmir. If you go to Kashmir, there is a place called Pari Mahal. There are small caves inside the rock, in the mountains, just near Srinagar. You can see it from the lake. Darashiko gathered all the important authorities on the scriptures, Hindu scriptures, got them all together in a conference and translated the Upanishads into Persian and Arabic. After that he died. So after they were translated into Persian and Arabic, those days the Arabs were traveling a lot, mainly to occupy territories. They were traveling, so they carried some translation. And it went to Greece, because those days Greece, even now also, Greece was the center of civilization, philosophy. Socrates, Plato, Hippocrates, in the Western world. So this went there, and when it went there, they said, "My God, is this what we have in this country?" Because they thought in India everybody was wearing a towel and walking around like savages. Civilization is judged by the clothes you wear. That's why I'm wearing a shirt and pants today. So, I would have also come like wearing a turban or having a beard which can be put into my shirt, but I came like this. Anyway, so I think Hans would be shocked if I walked in like that, no? Anyway, he has seen many holy men. So. In fact, in India, in the heat of summer, the best dress is not to wear anything. So we went to Greece, and a Greek person called Dupont wrote the first translation of the Upanishad into a Western language in Greek.
What was
Dupont, D-U-P-O-N-T. He wrote the first translation, which was in Greek. I don't know whether he was Greek, but the translation was first in Greek, and he called it Upanishad. This is the first translation available in this. He called it Upanishad. So, and then slowly people began to realize, oh my God, there is something like this. Not possible. They thought everybody is living in dark ages. So anyway, so there are over 100 Upanishads actually. But the first ones, the earliest ones, are the most important, and they are called the Principle Upanishads. Out of them, there are 11 which are most important because they were translated by all the great teachers, commented upon, from Shankara to Raman. We will not worry about that, but 11 Upanishads. Out of these 11 Principle Upanishads, there is one called the Chandogya, the Chandogya Upanishad. So I am going to tell you a story from the Chandogya Upanishad. There is a great rishi. You know what a rishi is? Great spiritually evolved being. You may say a spiritual scientist who has discovered something. His son goes to some other teacher to learn the truth, about the truth, and then he comes back. So the father asks the son, so have you learned the truth? He says, I think I have learned the truth. He says, no, you think cannot be. If you know the truth, you know the truth. You cannot think I know the truth. No, either you know it or you don't know it. Okay, so he says, Father, so what should I do? So you have seen a banyan tree. Have you seen a banyan? It's a huge tree with roots coming down from the branches. Many roots come from the branches and again they become roots. This banyan tree is famous because it's big shade and it grows very big, and yogis sit under the banyan tree to meditate. So, said, you see that banyan tree? Yes, Father. So, do you see the seeds of the banyan tree? Yes. So go pick up a seed. So he goes and he picks up a seed from the banyan tree and he brings it, and his father says, can you peel the skin? So he peels the skin. What do you see? Yes, I see the kernel inside. Kernel, kernel inside. Okay. Peel the kernel. Okay, Father. What do you see? I see small black seeds inside, like mustard. Okay, take one of the seeds and peel it. So what do you see? I see nothing. He said, this big banyan tree has come from this nothing. What you call nothing, it is from this that this entire banyan tree has come. So is it really nothing? Or is it something that we cannot understand with our sense organs? Is there a mind that can be purified and which can understand that reality? Well, the Buddhists call it Shunya. The Vedantin calls it Supreme Brahman. But it is something which is almost like nothing. But it is not nothing. It is that from which this entire universe has come, into which it will go back. I am giving you an Upanishadic story, how the Upanishad works. Okay. So, I am going to give you another Upanishad. It's just sampling, In one day we can, if we have a 5-day session, then we can do one Upanishad. But I am trying to pick up here and there the gems from the Upanishad. There's one wonderful Upanishad which has only 22 slokas, which is called the Ishavasya Upanishad. One of our heroes, Mr. Gandhi, was very fond of the Ishavasya Upanishad because it asks people to work and not to become lazy on one part. So the Ishavasya Upanishad begins like, and we are going to also have a question answer session after we finish, because if we do it now it will be too early. So, Ishavasya Upanishad begins like this. You can sing or talk both. Say Isha Vashyamidam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bhunjita Ma Gridha Kasya Siddhanam. This is the word. Want it sung or talk? It's okay. So it says Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam. That means that supreme reality, which is almost like the nothing that you saw inside the seed, which cannot be defined because all definitions fall short. That supreme reality, which is called Isha, Isha Vashyam. Vashyam means pervades. You know what is meaning? Pervade, P-E-R-V-A-D, pervade. Is everywhere. Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam. Everything. Sarvam is everything. Idam means here, now. Not in future, after you die and then see Isha. No, no, no. That reality pervades everything right now and here. Just a statement, okay? We're not proving now. Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat. It pervades everything in this universe. The universe in Sanskrit is called Jagat, and it is derived from the word Jagatyam. Jagatyam Jagat means this is the universe called Jagat, which is always in movement. Jagatyam means movement, motion. Now, to understand that supreme reality which pervades everything, we have to look at this world which is constantly moving. It is not easy to look at this world which is constantly moving. Why? Because we are also moving. If I sit in one place, I can see move. If I am also moving, it is different. Anyway, so but we have to look at it. Why is it? Look at the world and figure out for yourself, is it constantly moving? Earth is moving. Planets are moving, the whole stars are moving, entire system is moving in the universe. Part 1, the earth is moving, and time is moving. Can we stop it? If I could, then I can say, okay, 11:30, not now, bring it back. Not possible. I can change my watch, but I can't stop the time. Time is constantly moving. Jagatyam. That's why it's called this world, Jagat. And what else? Every little cell in our body is being regenerated every day. New cells are coming. We like to think they are the same, but they are not. They're changing. And what about the mind? Is it moving or is it stationary? We all have the answer to this. It's always moving. Can't stop it for a second. When we die, maybe we don't know what happens, so we can't say anything. I probably know what happens, but generally we don't know what happens, so we don't know whether the mind stops. But yes, the mind is also always moving from here to there. So that movement is called the world, Jagat. My teacher, Maheshwarnath Babaji, used to tell me, every time I ate food, he said, remember, time is eating you. True. So, this constant movement is the world. And the Upanishad is saying that Supreme Being pervades everything here, everything, the complete movement of this world, it pervades everything. So, how does it pervade? You know, if you see a cyclone or a hurricane coming, there is one point in the cyclone which is called the eye of the cyclone, where there is no movement. It's a vacuum. All around there is movement, and everything is sucked into it. It's the thing that sucks everything in. If you have a wheel, the wheel is moving, but there has to be a center for the wheel to move. So when everything is moving, there is a center of that movement which is completely quiet. Plato said, very interestingly, there are two things in this world. Well, the Shankara doesn't admit of two, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Plato said there are two things in this world. One is, is, and is never becoming. The other is becoming and never is. I don't know if you grasp what I am trying to say. Two things. One, that which is constantly becoming and is not is, and the other which is and is not becoming. So, if you need to look at that which is, all becoming has to stop. Not physical becoming, the mind becoming. As long as the mind is becoming, it cannot see that which is not becoming anything. It could be desire, it could be distraction, any becoming. I'm today here, becoming. You know how this becoming works, it's very interesting. I'm a young man and I'm very healthy, and people say I'm handsome, suppose. I'm not, I'm now 70 years old. And then I say that if I have to be happy, then I have to become a person with a woman, or I need a girlfriend or a wife. I want to become. I'm not happy with being alone. I want to become two. I want to have somebody else. Because I think my happiness depends on that. If I want to be happy. But does it really make one happy? I don't know. After you have one more person, are you happier or you have more problems? What do you have? I don't know. You need to find. I'm a married man myself.
Nobody will give you an answer.
Little bit of.
Knows it, but nobody.
I also don't want to openly say. My wife might see the video. So, well, she's a good girl. That's okay. That's for the video. So, what I mean to say is that there is this becoming constantly in our mind. I am a disciple today. I want to become the guru. I am the worker today. I want to become. It's all fine. You have to, but watch how the mind catches us in this becoming process. When there is no becoming, when everything is settled down in the mind, then you are in the center of the cyclone. It's absolute calm, and the world is going around. So the Upanishad says, the Supreme Being pervades everything that is here, and you come to know it when you are in the middle, where there is no movement. So because the next sentence is, Tena tyaktena bhunjita, let go and rejoice. When you say let go and rejoice, please understand, it's not give up, but let go. You can give up many things and still not enjoy, because you will be still craving for it. Let go. This is all Upanishad, okay, not mine. I don't want to take claim for this. Now, so we have a break, then come back. Is it?
Should I bring us some water?
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 No thank you. No thank you.